Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well. Just in case if you are listening to this, I want you to know that we have begun meeting on Zoom for Friday gathering. So please join us if you can, and if you need information, please let me know. The next chapter, chapter 2, is titled The Blessedness of Possessing Nothing. As you might have guessed it, this chapter is about why we need to empty ourselves. When God created us, He prepared a place, a temple, deep into our hearts so that only He can dwell. But when sin entered, we started to fill that place with things other than God Himself. Tozer says that as God is no longer there in that place, there is now no peace in our hearts because the things are fighting one another to fill that place. We're always seeking to possess and possess, not knowing the end of our greed for possession. Precisely because of this, Jesus said to His disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." The irony is that we do not lose by denying ourselves. Rather, it is only through the self-denial, which is the denial of our ever want for possession, that we can finally gain a deeper knowledge of God. Again, Christ said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." When we break the yoke of the oppression of wanting more, we, in the end, can gain Christ who frees us from such oppression. Take, for example, Abraham. When God had commanded Abraham to sacrifice his only son, Isaac, God wanted to reign in Abraham unchallenged, without Abraham's misplaced love for his son. That God wanted to correct any perversion that might have had existed in Abraham toward his only son. But when Abraham had shown to God that his heart was devoted to God alone, by surrendering his son on the altar to sacrifice to God, Abraham actually gained his son in the end. As you can see in Abraham's example, by giving up, we do not lose anything at all. In the end, we possess more than we can possibly think of. It is crucial that we need to have a heart that is willing to give up, a heart that is willing to surrender to God alone, should our Lord Christ ask of us. At first, this may not be that easy for you. I know it because it was hard for me to give up in the first place. It was hard for me to surrender in the first place. But I learned through my experiences what it meant to give up, and it has become easier to give up than to possess because I know the secret of giving up. This giving up may not always be material things. It can be your dream, your goals, and anything that you desire the most. Again, these things will try to fight for one another to gain the very place that God has created of your heart, deep in your heart, if you allow them to do so. But there is grace when God will, one by one, bring you into the testing place, whether you know it or not. And when He does, His sore desire is to correct you, so that your heart can be devoted to Him. Just as when God tested Abraham. So continue to come to God, surrender all things to Him, your worries, your desires, your dreams, and everything. And I pray that God would continue to conform you to be more like Christ. Until next time, stay safe. Bye, guys.